If the applause stopped tonight, would your life still hold? Stay with me and I will show you how to stand when the clapping ends. We begin in a bright studio where a woman washes her hands and tries to slow her breath. Her name is Maya, and a message glows on her phone that says, "We know." In 6 minutes she must smile for a live show about kindness and hope. She puts the phone away and walks out under hot lights that make everything look honest. Let me tell you how she climbed, and how she fell, and how she learned to live without the balcony. She is 32 and the face of a wellness company that sells gentle words and soft colors. People say she is calm and brave and pure. She knows how to listen, and she knows how to nod at the right time. She has a flat with tall windows and a view that looks like a new life. She loves a man named Leo, who calls her Comic Girl when he is in a good mood. She keeps a small basil plant on the balcony because a caller once sent it with a nice note. The company pays for community grants and public talks and late-night peer calls. The phone message in the restroom is not a joke and not a prank. It is the start of a bill coming due. Before we go forward, we need one quiet truth. The trouble began with a small lie that looked like love. Months ago, Leo ran out of runway for his young business. He said he needed one bridge to cross one gap, and then all would be fine. Maya opened a grant form that was meant for community relief. Her cursor shook over the line that asked for the use of funds. She told herself this would be for a week, and then she would put it back. She clicked Submit, and called it a community pilot. Her friend Iris, who works in legal, came to her desk with careful eyes.
Do not do this, Maya.
Maya thanked her and said it was only a clerical thing and that she would fix it. Iris looked tired in a kind way and walked away because friends can warn, but they cannot drive your hands. The week did not end and the hole did not close. The grant flag lived inside a quiet system that notices patterns and weights. In the studio today, that system has sent its notice. Maya steps into the light and the crew counts down, and the smile works on cue. She takes calls from strangers and she gives simple words that help them feel seen. A clip will go viral of her saying, "You are not a failure, you are a person." After the show, a small team claps and a sponsor sends a message with happy faces. Maya checks the basil when she gets home and the soil is dry again. She tells herself she will water it after she answers 2 emails and she forgets. Here is our first small storm and our first small calm. The audit message spikes her fear. Iris writes that she will handle the inquiry. Maya rests for 1 hour and thinks perhaps it will pass. It does not pass. An anonymous note arrives in her social inbox that says, "Golden girl with glass feet." Leo takes her to a roof for simple dinner under string lights and calls her brave.
It is only a bridge, and then it is done.
She nods and tries to believe him because love has a soft voice when it asks for credit. The work rises and the praise rises with it. A magazine wants her on the cover with a line about grace under pressure. A rehearsal turns odd when her mic stays live and someone jokes that she is a statue with Wi-Fi. She laughs and keeps the smile steady. The email lands with weight and says the board requests a statement. Iris drafts a clean sentence and calls it an administrative error.
Say it, and keep it narrow, and we can correct the record.
Maya wants to tell the whole truth and to say she did it on purpose to cover a week for the person she loves. She also wants to keep Leo safe and to keep her work alive. She signs the line that Iris has written and tries to breathe again. The thread appears from a rival host who sounds calm and sure. The post says kindness should be more than a brand, and it has screenshots. People share it because people like clean stories with sharp shapes. The company suspends Maya while they review, and sponsors press pause, and the word pause feels like a metal door. Her fans split, and some defend her, and some devour her. Crowds can love you on Monday and ask for your bones on Friday. She hands in her badge and carries a box with a mug and a plant stake and a spare sweater. The flat is bright and empty, and a little louder than before. Leo is on his laptop and he is searching for loans, and every tab looks like a prayer. Iris texts from her private phone and says she is still a friend, but she must step back at work.
I am here as me, but not as counsel.
Maya writes an apology and deletes it, and writes it again. She decides to speak to a camera with a plain face, and no music and no ring light. She says she misused trust, and she is ready to accept the cost. People share the video and argue about it like it is a sport. A gossip show laughs and does a voice for her that is not her voice. It is funny, and it hurts more because it is funny. The founder of the company goes on a gentle show and speaks in a soft tone.
Policies matter because people matter.
He is not cruel and he is not wrong, and that makes the cut clean. Leo tries to fix his numbers and then the numbers fix him. He packs a bag with quiet hands and leaves a note that says he needs space.
I loved your light, and I confused it with rescue.
Maya sits on the floor and lets that sentence pass through her like rain. The basil is brown now, and the soil is hard, and the stems tilt like tired men. She lays the plant to rest in a small bag and keeps the pot on the counter. Here is a new small storm and a new small calm. A woman who once called her show writes a short email with no emojis.
Your words kept me alive one winter, and I want to buy you coffee to say thanks.
They meet in a quiet cafe that does not care who they are. No one asks for a selfie, and no one posts a story. They talk about small things that feel like real things, such as sleep and grocery lists, and the price of soap. Maya hears her own voice respond, without the aim of making a clip. She feels the air move in her chest, and for 1 second she is not a brand. Loss does not end in one day, but it changes shape when you stop feeding it. She looks for work that is quiet and useful. A community radio station needs a late-night host who can listen and not judge. She takes the job, and the pay is simple, and the hours are odd, and it suits her. The studio is small and warm and smells like dust and old stories. She invites callers and keeps the talk easy and plain. One night a caller asks for a script to fix a boyfriend who lies.
Tell me what to say, so he will change.
Maya breathes and decides not to sell comfort on credit. She says on air that she will not coach the caller to save him. She says she will sit with the caller while the caller saves herself.
I do not know how to begin.
Maya says you begin by telling the truth to your own mouth. There is a long, quiet line, and then the caller breathes with less noise. That is what honest care sounds like, when no one is scoring points. Maya starts a payment plan to return what she took, and she writes a plain letter that says she will keep promises that no one will see. She buys fresh soil and puts the empty pot on the table. A neighbor gives her a few basil cuttings in a paper cup. She places the cuttings in water and watches for roots like a seed in a glass of water. Days pass and she does not check comments. She pays rent and sweeps the floor and reads recipes that assume a slow life. Iris visits for tea, and they talk like people and not like headlines.
I still think you are brave when you are quiet.
They laugh about a company retreat where people had to hold eye contact while balancing tea on saucers. Vulnerability does not need a saucer. The late-night show gathers a small family of strangers who do not feel strange. A man calls to say he almost stole something today, and then chose not to and wanted to tell somebody. A nurse calls and says her feet hurt, and she wants to hear a human voice say thank you. Maya says thank you and means it, and then the nurse hangs up and the room feels cleaner. A large platform offers Maya a redemption tour with a bright set and soft chairs. They promise a clear arc and a second act, and a sponsor who loves second chances. She says no, because she has learned to say no to balconies with no stairs. The cuttings grow roots, and she moves them to soil and puts the pot on the windowsill where the light is kind. She spends a morning delivering food boxes with a small team that talks about weather and pets. The talk feels like real life, which is to say it feels small and dear. One evening, a junior engineer from the old studio sends a message.
I made that hot mic joke and I am sorry.
She writes back and says she understands and hopes he is doing well, and that is all. not every knot must be tied in a bow. The world does not clap for her now, and yet her days hold. She stands on floors that she can name. Sleep is easier, and food tastes like food again. On a quiet Sunday, she visits a former caller who once saved her words in a notebook. They plant a small box of herbs on a windowsill, and the light finds the leaves. This is how we close the circle we opened. At the start, I asked if your life would hold without applause. Here is the answer that Maya earned by paying with comfort and pride, and then with patience. Do not live on a balcony with no stairs. Build floors you can stand on when the clapping ends. Praise comes and goes like weather. Truth is the part you can hold in your hand. Let me leave you with a few plain lessons that you can carry in your pocket. Small lies that look like love are still lies, and they eat the floor under your feet. Confession works best when it is simple and fast, and not a show. Real care is not rescue, and not performance, and not a costume. It is a chair and time and a voice that does not push or sell. If you ever must start again, then start small, and start honest, and start today. Now I want to talk to you as a friend who is glad you stayed. Thank you for listening to the end of this story. If this moved you even a little, please tap like and subscribe, and leave a comment in your own words. If you want to support this channel, you can use the QR code at the bottom right, or the link in the description. In the description, you will also find links to other works from different series on this channel. They carry the same heart and a new angle, and I would love to meet you there next time. Take care of your floors and your breath, and the people who sit at your table. This is Golden Thorns, and I hope to see you in the next story. Good night.